Good morning, children. Hope you are all keeping fine. Ready for the class? Good. Have you read your lesson yesterday? I presume that you did it because you are 8th standard children. You are responsible for your life. It's not fine. So today we will continue with the lesson. That is the second part of this. What is the lesson's name? A short monsoon diary. Yesterday we have seen the first part and 3 days how this Ruskin Bond has written what his observation of the weather and who are the guests during the different season and things like that we have seen. Is it not? Today you will continue the second part. There is up 2 questions with your comprehension which I am not going to tell you now. You will have to find out. Very simple one. If you read carefully, you are able to do that comprehensions. Okay. Now, let us see the second part. That is, in the he writes about the date is there. What is the date? August 2nd. He writes, all night the rain has been drumming on the corrupted tin roof. That is a courtyard. That is the raining season. What happened when the tin, that is the roof was with tin. That is like asbestos, like part sound, that when it falls different sound. So tin sound was there. Corrugated tin roof. There has been no storm, no thunder, just the steady swish of the tropical downpour. A heavy rain without wind, no thunder, only simply pouring down the rain. So the tin sheet was making the water falling sound were heard. It helps me to lie awake. He says that it helps him to, even if during the sleep he get up and simply lie awake, not sleeping. At the same time, it doesn't keep me from sleeping. So it is he cannot sleep because of the sound that the water pouring down on it's on the tin sheet. Okay, so he could not sleep. That he says he was awake. He is lying down awake. It is good sound to read by. He says it is a good sound to read by. The rain outside, the quiet within. And although tin roofs are given to springing unaccountable leak, there is a feeble of being unnoticed by and yet in touch with the rain. It says that the sound of the water falling on this tin and he was making so much noise and things, and it says inside soil and outside the rain, all those things he says what are his experiences there. And although the tin roof are given to springing uncountable leaks, maybe it was also water was falling out inside because maybe small holes are there, water was leaking inside. There is a feeling of being untouched by and yet in touch with the rain. But there is a feeling of untouched because water doesn't fall on him. But for him, he was really enjoying the rain. Okay, of course there is some kind of pain because water was falling inside his house. Maybe not be a new house, an old house and things like that. There is a kind of feeling, but at the same time he was enjoying the rain. That is what he find in August 2nd. Coming next day, August 3rd, he writes what? The rain stops. So next day the rain stops. Then what happened? The clouds begin to break up. The sun stares the hills on my left. A woman is chopping up sticks. You see how he is observing the things. I hear the tinkle of cowbells. Tinkle of cowbells in the oak tree and cows shaking the raindrops from his feathers, and it's not cow, it's crows, okay? Crows it is, sorry. Crows chase the raindrops from his feathers and cows disconsolately. So the crows were there and he is observing the nature. After rain stopped, the cows started to shake its feathers and drying itself and crying, all those things. Water drips from the leak of drain pipes and suddenly clean and pure, and the song of whistles thrush emerges like a dark sweet secret from the depths of the rain. So he says, and what are his experiences? After the rain stops, what had happened? The crows are there, they were drying their feathers and things like that. So what are the things that he observes? He has written. He must be he is writing this for you, 8th standard children, how you are able to do the things in your own mind, in your own imagination, in your own creativity, the things that happens in your life. Is it clear? Then coming to then he doesn't write continuously there. Then August 12th, what had happened, he is writing. He is writing on the nature, is it not? The weather, how the weather changes and what happens, how it affects the nature, affects his own life and things like that. And August 12th, what he writes, let us see. Endless rain and a permanent mist. Again continued the endless rain, which means continuous rain, and permanent mist. We haven't seen the sun for 8-9 days. He says that continuous from so many days. From August, maybe from 3rd onwards, started rain and so much continuous rain and mist, everything was dark, and they say that he has not even seen the sun rising, that much cloudy it was like that. And for how many days the sun? He has not seen sun almost 8 to 9 days. Everything damp, everything was wet and soggy, well dull and things like that. Nowhere to go. Peace, the room. Look out the window at the bobbling umbrella. At least it is in the cold rain. The hillside are lush as late monsoon. Flowers began to appear. Wild blossom dazzles, begonias and ground orchards. So different names of the plants he has written there. So after the rain, I told you, some of the plants will grow, flowering and seasoning and things like that. So he is observing that is a continuous rain was there. After that it stopped. Again what had happened? He is observing the nature, the weather. Is it clear? So the raining season mostly, the raining season, the mist. So he is connecting. He is really a nature lover, experiencing, enjoying the things, and he keen observer. See the things. You should also be like that, observing the things that is happening around you, with you, all those things. That we need to have a concentration. You should be a keen observer. Okay, that is what then you will see. Then it comes again, August 30th, 31st he is writing. What he has written, let us see. It is the last day of August. That is the last day of August, the 31st. And the lush monsoon growth has reached its peak. So almost it's a heavy rain. So June, July, August is a season of raining season in our place, is not. It's here also he says that growth has reached its peak. So heavy rain is almost reaching the highest level of rain. The seeds of the cobra lily are turning red. So the lily flowering, changing the colors and things like that. The flower after it's drying off like that. And in a few days, the ferns will start turning yellow. First it will turn into flower red, then it will go into yellow. But right now, they are still firm. So they will standing firm and lilies, flowers, stay. But then afterwards it will dry and things like that. Green and upright. So now at present he is looking on 31st he saw the lilies are very, very strong, very nicely. Flowers are moving and looking so firm. Firm means very straight. After some days what happen? It will die off. Is not? It will turn into yellow color, then into die off. That he says the ground orchards, Mau ladies slipper and the white butterfly orchard put on the fashion display on the grassy slopes of Lando. Wild dahlias, red, yellow, magenta, rear their heads from the rocky services where they have taken hold. So he says the different kinds of flowers, different kinds of plants, how they are standing, how he is narrating the appearance of the such different kinds of flowers when during the hilly places. Okay, he is talking about hilly, the beautiful place. He says it is a paradise like, is it not? So he says, so beautiful to see the different kinds of plants growing and flowering, and some are standing firm, some are dying, and things like that. So this is the observation that he does on 31st. Then he says what? Snakes and rodents flooded out of their holes and burrows. He also says that some snakes and rodents and like rats and things like that take shelter in the roof, attics and godowns, and through weak of eyesight blunders about the rooms, much to the amusement of the children. And they also see different kinds of animals and insects are moving out, coming out of their hole because of the rain and things like that to get fresh and things. So it is amusing to see how the rodents, rats and things like that moving, and people. This is an amusement for children. Amusement means happiness for the children to observe the things. Don't kill it, admonishes their grandmother. Church, he says, hundreds of luck they bring money. They say, no, the parents, their grandparents and their parents, don't kill such insect or animals. They will give what is that? They will give good fortune for us. So don't kill such kind of animals or insects. The grandmothers will say. And sure enough, I received a check in the mail, not a very large one, but welcome all the same. So he says that if you are writing and things, so this says the grandmother told not to kill the insect or the animals that is there blooming, because the fortune will come for us if you don't kill them. So like that. So you also, how do you do when you see some insect in your house, maybe a lizard, maybe some other things, cockroaches and things, but certain things you have to do it, isn't it? You cannot simply go on with such anything. But here the nature, he says, not inside the house. Nature, observing the things. Children will go on the hilly, okay, and throwing the stone and things. The grandmother used to say, don't kill them, so his fortune will come. And he says that, of course, he got some fortune, that is, he got a check, money, no? Then, not so much, but still, he says that welcome all the same. So because he believed the words of his mother, grandmother, not killing animals, taking, observing, loving and things like that. So that is what you will find in the August 31st. Then comes October 3rd. What is happening October 3rd? We have gone straight from monsoon into winter rain. He says that monsoon is over, raining season is over. Now October, what happened? Winter season comes. It's not winter rain. Snow at a higher altitude. So the snow falls from the higher altitude. It's not like raining. But here we don't have much mist and things like that. Some hilly areas which is experienced. He's speaking about the hilly area. Okay, of course. Then after an evening hailstorm, the sky and the hills are suffused with beautiful golden light. He says that. That is after the evening hailstorm. Hailstorm means the heavy breeze and things like that. Then what he found? The hills are suffused with beautiful golden light. So after the rainings, the beautiful light falls on the hills from the sun. So then he writes, that is all about the continuation of winter season is the real experience during the winter, how it is. He has written from October. Then he appeared January 26th. What had happened January 26th? Let us see. The winter rains in the hills, in the hushed silence of the house, when I am quite alone and my friends who are here has gone. It is very lonely, very quiet as I sit in the liquid silence and silence within. He says that in January, Republic Day, is not January 26th. So he said nobody was there. He was all alone. He was just observing and very silently. Everything, nature was very calm and quiet and things like that. Then what he says that surrounded by the rhythm of rain and the steady drift. So he was really enjoying the silence, the rhythm of things. He was really a man of nature lover, enjoy the beauty of nature and things like that. He says steady, he said rhymes of rain, that steady. So these are the beautifully drift, okay? The steady drift of water on leaves and lemon on roof, drumming on the drenched dull hills and the window pane. Then it started a heavy breeze, and the window panes are falling, and things like that. He's observing all those things. While the mist holds in the house in the dark chaos. So he says that everything was dark and he was silent and things. People, all his friends, or nobody was there. He was all alone, enjoying the beauty of the nature there. As I pursue near and a window, the rain stops and starts again. Then he used to go to near the window and he look around and he see the rain suddenly stops again, begins. So things he is really keenly observing, stopping again, starting again, and things like that. And the trees no longer green but grey, menace with their loneliness. So he says that every trees under what happened, mid season, winter season, what happened, everything is covered with like dark grey color. No, we cannot see exactly the green leaves. Everything is grey color, we will see. So that is what he is observing through the window of the house on January 26th. Is it clear? Then comes March 23rd. So March 23rd, what did he say? Late March, end of winter season is over. So you must be able to tell when the rainy season, how long, how many months, and the winter season, how long and how many months, when it begins and things. It is very clearly tells in the book. You should read between the lines. Okay. Late March, end of winter, the blackest cloud I have ever seen squatted over Missouri, and then it hailed marble of half an hour. Nothing like a hailstorm to clear the sky. Even as I write, I see a rainbow forming. For after the rain, what will you see? If you are keen, you can see the rainbow. How many colors has got a rainbow? Can you tell me? 7 colors. Can you name the names color? Very good. Okay, so he also said after the rain, he saw the rainbow in the sky. So he is a man of great observer. He is a man with a lot of insight to see and enjoy the nature. So that is all about the lesson. Very simple lesson. And he writes the diary of his own experience, experiencing the nature in different climatic situations. That is winter season, rainy season. What are the things he writes? This is a great example for you. Okay, so read the lesson carefully. Read the lesson, then you do the comprehensions. You try to do the comprehension. Of course, I will send you the question answers because there is no other way. Therefore, you must read it and understand so that it is easy for you to write the question answers and comprehensions. Is it clear, children? So, see you in the next class. We already completed that just a small lesson, and read carefully the lessons. Study, work hard, look for the meanings. Unless that, you will not understand the lesson. Is it clear? See you in the next class. We will do the exercise in the next class. Thank you.